East Podcast, WATP.
It's a show hosted by David Lee Corbo, a.k.a. The Raven.
Yes. Yeah. So again, thank you for inviting me back on, Carl. It's always a pleasure to talk with you. It's always a surprise that you would want to talk with me again.
Yeah, people love you on this show.
That's great. I love the people here. I see them like they're mad. They're like, these guys are like late and gay. But that means that they just love this show, which I don't know why.
They also really do think that we're gay. So there's also that.
It's like, yeah, we're late, but also gay. That's true. So this guy, David Lee Corbo, he came across my radar a couple of years ago. And we were doing an episode of Tower Gang, which is the show that you know me from. That's the one you reviewed. We have this like thing that we do in October that we call cocktober.
Howard Stern does the same thing.
Does he do it?
He has a cocktober, yes. It's all gay stuff.
What does he do, though, specifically for it?
He makes Richard and Sal touch penises in the studio.
Oh, I wish. Yeah, we only we ask our fans to submit their penises to Toad, specifically, who we reviewed last time on the show.
Yeah,
so
the gambling addict.
Yeah, so how it goes, it's a very funny bit because Toad then has to autistically study these penises, look at them, and describe them to us on the show in excruciating detail. I tell Toad, paint this dick with your mouth to us, and he does. And then we vote on a scale of 1 to scrumdiddlyumptious on who will win. David Lee Corbo was actually the first winner of this show. Very nice cock. Also turns out to be my co-host on Nephilim Death Squad. But he really nailed the heart of what we were asking for. Like, we're not asking for fully erect penis. We weren't asking for flaccid, non-enthusiastic poses. He kind of had like this nice middle ground. And he got his own T-shirt. I drew his dick on. It says "Become the Whore," and it's a raven with his dick. I actually drew his dick coming down on it. So this is how he came across my table, and I was like, I like this guy. I like the cut of his jib, like the way his dick looks.
That he was just a little chubbed up. He wasn't fully erect. You like
slightly,
that?
Yes, yeah. Too hard, like you're trying too hard, but he was just. It's like
it needs to be pointing down still, right?
Yes, it's Goldilocks and the three dicks. It's like one was a little too chubbed, one was too. Yeah, he was just right in my opinion. So I asked him. I said, "Hey, do you want to do a Christian conspiracy show with me?"
As one does.
Yep.
It's a biblical Christian conspiracy show where we look at current events through a biblical lens. And he said, "Hell yeah, let's do it." And it's been actually a really pretty big success. We've had some live events. We're planning another live event that we're doing with possibly Sam Tripoli headline. So it's been good.
Awesome.
And somewhere along the line there, he decided that, like everybody else does, I want to have another show. Like, one's not good enough. I want to do another show by myself. So he does this show called Timeline Cleanse, which every so often I'll pop in and I'll say, what is this about? And it's just a show where he watches black people fight, I guess. And that's really the entire show. But the interesting thing that he's done here is he's taken my fan base, because he came out of nowhere. So he's taken my fan base of like 50,000 Twitter subscribers, and then, from everywhere else everything else I do, and he's turned them almost into a cult. They call him Master. They take part in his racist antics. There's inside jokes that go over and under my head while I'm doing my other show. So it's becoming a little bit of an issue, and I wanted to review it here with you guys and see what you think about it. Okay. Maybe you'll convince him to stop.
Well, I do have some thoughts on this gentleman and his show. I think he's dumb. And I want to show you why I think that first off. And you tell me, I was looking at his Rumble page, just trying to get a sense of what this show is supposed to be. And it says, description, good morning, spelled with a U, daily show with Raven, come get your timeline cleansed. Did he misspell this on purpose?
Yeah, so good morning is this is from a meme. Some black lady came on and she was saying that when white people say good morning, it's actually racist. It's a euphemism for the N word. So he says
it's an inside joke.
Yeah, good morning, and it's like a morning, but he screams it at the people, and the people scream it back at him in all caps. It's very disturbing, but it's a racist epithet is what he's turned it into.
And he's only on Rumble, I would imagine, right, with this type of content?
Yeah, he was on YouTube and was swiftly kicked off, and he's also too retarded to do an audio feed for some reason, so it's just Rumble. That's where it lives.
Just this Rumble. Okay. Well, his most recent episode didn't start out so good. He was shot out of a cannon, ready to go, ready to start the show. He just forgot to turn the microphone on. And so here you see him chatting away. His music bed's coming up. He's got that underneath him. And he interacts with his chat nonstop. So
That's all
don't
the show is.
understand why. Yeah, it's all the show is. It's just him talking to the chat. So I'm not sure why he doesn't recognize that there's no sound coming out when that's all anyone is telling him.
Just plugging merch and
Yeah, he's plugging his merch. Go to the website. Hey, check it out. We got new hats. Doing
honestly,
all this
Carl,
stuff.
the show is better this way. And as somebody who is his co-host, I hear this guy talk for probably, man, sometimes we'll do 2 episodes a day, 5 days a week or something like that of Nephilim Death Squad. And I got to hear this motherfucker's voice constantly.
Yeah, so it's nice when the mic is turned off.
It's a
nice change of
relief.
pace, yeah. Well, it's also hard when you do a show all by yourself. Like, everyone needs a producer. I have producer Chris here. And what he'll do is he'll go, hey, Carl, did you hit record? Oh, yeah, no, I didn't. Let me do that. It's like really helpful stuff. But he finally...
Hey, Carl, is shit melting down?
he finally figures out that his mic is off.
If you look in the
eventually.
in the upper corner there, you see that there. So he has a weekly goal. He wants to make $600 on super chats, and so this is why he can't afford a producer, which is why the show is in the shape that it's in. It's really one of these things of like the snake eating itself. You know, it's like what's going to come first, the producer or quality, and none ever comes. But people still watch this shit, and I don't know why.
How long has this been on the air? A long time. This is episode 174 or something like that.
Yeah, and he restarted at one point, so he's been doing this for quite a while. 2 years, maybe.
All right, well, this is him recognizing that he hasn't been making any noise yet.
Wow. That's incredible. 175 fucking episodes into this show. And I just did 5 minutes worth of an intro. Holy shit.
Well, that's depressing. It seemed like he was really cooking, too. Probably had a lot of interesting things to say. He's promoting the Patreon and everything. But he does this thing with the roll call, where he has to call everyone out who's there watching him, which I've always found annoying. I don't think there's any place for that. But whatever, that's what he does. But then we find out that, no, actually, he wasn't doing a good job with the intro anyway.
Fuck all that. Not getting back into it, guys. I'm not going to do the intro again. Some of you said that it looked like I was cooking. I wasn't cooking, actually. I fumbled the fucking bag as soon as the stuff... Dude, holy shit. Holy shit. Let's just issue some racist good mornings and move on with our fucking lives. Agreed? Agreed. A very racist good morning with the hardest of ours to all the dangerous retards in the chat. Shout out Mr. Poopbag. Great Pilled Podcast. Good to see that Jules is still alive. Emily is also here.
I don't understand the roll call thing. Can you explain this? I see so many guys do this, or they have to feel like they have to make everyone feel welcomed.
So this is the problem. This is what I'm running into. So these people that he's talking to they're fans of TopLobsta before they knew of David Lee Corbo. Mm-hmm. And now he's fostered this environment in which he speaks to them.
He's stolen them from you.
I don't give a fuck. Take them.
Could he turn them against you at some point?
I guess maybe, but it wouldn't even matter. Here's what he's done is he's stolen. Well, I guess he's stolen them in a way. It doesn't matter. He's fostered this environment in which they think they have a voice that they can talk to me. I have the mic. This is a $400 microphone. I went out. I bought this.
Yeah.
I bought my fucking $700 Rodecaster. There is a barrier of entry here, baby, to talk to me.
It's exactly $1,100. Yes.
Exactly $1,100 and a StreamYard link. So
Sure.
another $45 a month if you're on the cheap side. And now it's been a couple of times they've come out of pocket at me and I had to put them back in place. Emily specifically. These are people now that I know. They come up, they show up to the live shows, they talk shit to us. They're front row talking to us like they know me. And I look at David and I go, David, the fuck is going on here? These are plebes, these are our pay pigs. They're here to watch only, like children.
And give money, right.
To be seen, not heard. Give me your money, enjoy the content, or don't. Who cares? But because of this show, he's addressing them directly. He's calling them by name. There is a dialogue between creator and viewer, which is it's a no-no.
It's a parasocial relationship that, is not good. Not good for either party involved, and he's encouraging this.
It's garbage. It's low-class behavior, really. And I try to tell him this, but David is very much the opposite of me.
Yeah,
in,
unintelligent and not very well-spoken, right.
Well, no, he's probably more well spoken than I am, but I mean, like the opposite, like personality wise, where I'm laid back. I'm always wearing. Actually, you caught him on a day where he's wearing a normal T-shirt, but the guy is usually wearing like bright sunglasses, all these rings, a loud T-shirt that's open with the tank top underneath. During the summertime, he'll dye his hair bleach blonde. And I am a very low key guy. You saw me at your event. I kind of show up. Also, great event. If you guys are in Vegas, you guys should show up. What's his name is going to be there again?
Producer Chris.
No,
Producer Chris will be there.
No, I forget his name. Jesus, with the puppet and the potato.
Tukey. Yeah.
Tukey. Yes, Tukey.
What's his lips?
What's his face?
Yeah.
They were great. I was hanging out backstage. I'm very bad with names. Anyway, show up to there.
No, so what he's done is he's ruined these people because now they think they're part of the show because they watch his show and they're like communicating with him throughout the thing. And then you guys do a live show and it's just like, oh, I'm going to go and communicate with a Raven throughout the show. It's like, no, that's not what this is. This is why there's a stage and a microphone. You know, you hear the comics with the joke. I'm sorry, we didn't bring microphones for everyone today. So you're just going to have to sit and listen, unfortunately.
During a live event, they step forward to talk to us as if it's like a live chat. And it's like, I'm like, this is very disruptive. Then I have to be the adult in the room and tell them, shut the fuck up. And then I look at Dave and I say, see what you made me do? Like you made me do this to our children. It's just not a good look. But this is what he's fostered and he continues to foster. And it's going to be a shit show going forward.
Well, I'm surprised that he has this following because he says some really dumb things. I want to play you an example of that.
Boom, boom. Let's see. Schrodinger's fuckery says had to run a 5 mile through the fog in North Carolina yesterday. Oh, good for you though. That's fucking awesome. You run marathons. Is that a 5 mile run? Is that a half marathon?
Retard alert! Retard alert, class!
Yeah, you ever see those bumper stickers that just have the number 5 on them on all the cars? Those are people running half marathons.
Wow.
That's pretty. Everyone knows it's 26.2, 13.1, right?
It's embarrassing. And it's like, I mean, this is, again, I love him. I really do love him, but this is really the most that we'll do in life. He'll do in life is like podcaster because you don't really need to know much. You just kind of have to float by. And he's doing a good job at it, I think.
He's doing a terrible job. So he calls himself a conspiracy theorist. That's how he describes himself. He'll say, throughout my years as a conspiracy theorist, blah, 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 blah. And what you want to say is that you're a truth seeker or you're uncovering, like you don't call yourself conspiracy theorist because then you don't have a lot of credibility. It's like, oh, this is a guy who just believes everything that they hear. And we're going to see examples of that. But he also does another thing wrong where he doesn't speak from a place of authority. So if you're going to listen to like Alex Jones, I'm going to listen to him and how the lizard people are running the world. And the way he says it, I'm like, I think he believes this, so maybe he's right. But unfortunately, Raven's not like that.
Let me. I haven't watched this. Let's watch this together. LA is covered in fog or smog. I don't know that that's so strange. I just know that once again, we're getting inundated with fog here in Florida, and it's also February, so I think there's kind of a little bit of a respiratory thing going around. But people are drawing this correlation between the fog and this sickness that people have been getting. But I go, if the fog wasn't here, it's still February. We would still probably be getting a little bit under the weather. And I don't know. I don't know if, Eamon Rat says it's the season for fog. I never really paid attention.
So they're talking about this fog and what is this doing? It's creating this illness and respiratory issues. And they're showing the LA fog. And he's even like not sure if that's normal for LA or not. And goes on to say that, it is foggy in Florida. And was it last year too?
And I don't remember noticing this, but maybe that's because it was happening, but there wasn't a conspiracy theory attached to it. So I just didn't pay it any mind because otherwise it's just fucking fog, right?
Right. Correct. Yeah. I wouldn't remember if it was foggy last year. Correct. So I have one more clip from this package, and this just sums up the show for me. This really explains it all.
I don't know. I don't know how to, think about this.
Right. I could tell. I'm not the one who brought it up, by the way. You are. So We
are conspiracy theorists. I do consider myself a conspiracy theorist. David is a conspiracy theorist that will, if you present it to him, he's like, yeah. And he's off and running with it, presenting it on now what is becoming a larger, like a growing audience, which is actually, I find it to be hilarious. I think we need more of that, just more lies and misinformation all throughout the media. I look at Chris rolling his eyes. I'm sorry, Chris. This is what I do, man. You don't follow me on Twitter. They call me the father of misinformation, and I do it on purpose. If you can't see through it, that's your fault, baby.
Okay.
Not my fault.
So you think that's what he's trying to do is spread misinformation, or is he trying to get to the truth, this guy?
No, he believes it.
Okay, yeah, because here's a great example. I think this is hilarious. So he reads this headline, and this is a pretty big deal if it's true.
Okay, I got a couple more videos to get through, and this is fun. This isn't even a video that I had to get to. Actually, that's it. I just wanted to show you this shit. Isn't this fucking hilarious? Here we are, February 2nd, 2025. This is fact check, so you know that it's real. CIA report confirms COVID was bioengineered by the Pentagon in 2017. I don't know if there's a fucking. Let's see if we can find the article. Maybe we could read it a little bit. I know that's gay. I don't like reading and we don't like articles, but I do want to see about this.
Yeah, I think that one you might want to look up. It seems like kind of a big deal if that's the case. I love these, like, I don't like articles on this show. I sure don't like reading, but he's going to give you all the news.
There's a group of probably 200 people now that have their own group chat, and this is where they literally get their news from. They just share. They don't even share this article. They share this clip of him doing a video on this article, and that's their news.
And they believe that that's true then.
Oh, yeah. They love it. And it's great.
Because right after that, I thought this was pretty funny.
Updated assessment on the COVID-19 origins. Give me 1 second. There's something from the BBC. This is March 2003. Maybe this isn't even real. Maybe I just read you guys some shit that's not fucking real. Updated assessment. No, I don't know where this guy would have gotten this article. If anybody finds it, send me the link. We'll pull it up. But otherwise, I'm going to keep going.
So if he reads this thing, that would be like a huge deal. That'd make really big news. And he goes, you know what? I should see if this is actually, there's an article about this somewhere. Does a Google search and goes, yeah, this is probably all made up. It looks like, I guess I got nothing.
Let me ask you though, is this not the same journalistic integrity that we get with pretty much any other mainstream media news or whatever was the mainstream media?
Mainstream is worse because they have an agenda. So at least, they're all just making shit up, but at least this guy's just having fun with it. I'll give him that.
Yeah, that's the problem. There is no agenda. Like if if he aimed it somewhere, it would be a little more effective.
So he does a thing very similar to Steel Toe. Now, what Aaron Imholt does on Steel Toe on Fridays is you pay him money and then he'll watch whatever video you send him. It's like Rumble Friday or something like that. And it's brilliant. Because people give you money and they give you all the content material you need to run your show.
This is how this show works.
Yes.
TLC. It's only that. It's just fan submission. They send him, which is why it goes off the rails. It's mostly black people fighting each other and murder videos. And every so often you'll get conspiracy and propaganda.
Right. Well, he's looking for something that he wants to show everyone. And I wonder how you feel about this, TopLobsta, because he goes into his Twitter DMs. He's sharing on the screen and is scrolling through the conversations that you two have over DM.
For the I know this is probably reading into things too much, but I think we're getting into the, where is it? Boom, boom, boom. Have you heard the good news? Oh, dude, that was such a banger. Fucking Crack Amico dropped another.
Damn, I can't find the whole conversation.
Either way, the language that this guy was using, Elon Musk, the other day, he used the phrase wood chipper.
Now, do you find that offensive at all? That this guy is just going through and scrolling through all of your private conversations over DM?
At first, yes, but it's become to the point where I only message him on a need to know basis. That's it. So if you slow down and see what I said here, I already emailed this dude. I can do 12:30. It's like, this is just business, but nothing to do with our financials or anything like that. It's just like, because I'm like, I know you're retarded, and I know most likely you're going to show this on stream or to somebody. So it's just like one-word answers or very simple things. He calls me. I love David. Now, again, like with Toad, same thing. Wouldn't do a show with these guys if I didn't love him. He calls me like 7 times a day to tell me about. He's like, have you seen all the egg symbolism in the news? And I'm like, what do you mean egg symbolism? And he's just on about the Orphic egg and an egg with the Super Bowl, and there's an egg shortage and someone stole 100,000 eggs. And he's like, it's all about Aleister Crowley. I'm like, all right, David, all right, I got to go. I got kids over here, but write it down. Get back to me later.
So do you ever like sit down and go, oh, tell me about the eggs. Tell me about the symbolism that's going on. Like actually engage with them? Does it like, why does he keep calling you if you don't encourage it?
So we do a conspiracy show, and sometimes he's on to stuff. And sometimes I'm like, there's something there. I'm going to look into that. There's a recent thing we're on to, this guy, Andrija Puharic. He's the, have you ever heard of the term tinfoil hat?
Of course.
Okay. That comes from a guy that had a radio chip implanted in his head, and he was in a mental facility, and he put tinfoil around his head to stop these radio waves. Mm-hmm. Everyone thought he was crazy, but really what it was is that he had some kind of operation done on him by this guy, Andrija Puharic, which was like he's not even CIA, he's just like black ops and stuff. He's out there doing a lot of strange things. So David brought him up to me, and I'm like, this is really fucking interesting. When you look into this guy, he's developed something called a Spiricom, which is like this, I don't know, it's like a telephone box where people claim that they could speak to the other side. Very interesting stuff. So things like that come up, I say, all right, David, you're on to something. But you see, look at your fans, egg. They're just saying egg, egg's gay. Yes. It's just constant. If you go to his Twitter page, it's just constant like eggs reference. I'm like, enough with the eggs. Like, I don't give a fuck about the eggs. Let's talk about something else.
You have to curate this stuff a little bit for him to get him on track sometimes.
There was a point where there were these African videos going around, and it was like a tent, like a teepee, and it was dancing. And he was like, there's a supernatural dancing African teepees. And I'm like, let me look at that. So I looked at the video, and I'm like, you could see the guy's feet right under the tent. This is not...
He doesn't look real closely at this stuff, huh?
And he just goes back. He has to delete like 10 tweets because he's just claiming.
Well, all right. So that explains this next clip that I wanted to play, because I thought this shit was over.
And I'm always waiting for, like, when is this QAnon shit going to happen? Here we go.
I haven't heard QAnon in quite some time. I thought we'd all moved past that, but he's still waiting for the QAnon stuff to get proven correct.
I will say, I know it sounds crazy. I don't know, you guys are, I'm not a believer, but when I'm looking at a lot of the news now, I'm like, because with QAnon, I was like, this is retarded. These people are gay retards. But now that I'm looking at what's happening, and I'm like, holy shit, like, I can't believe that they're going to be justified at some point. Like, they're about to release the Epstein client list. I'm like,
are they?
Yeah, dude, with the JFK files and the MLK files.
That's exciting. I am excited about that. But I don't know everything there is to know about QAnon. I'm sure there was a lot of truth in a lot of the stuff, because there's a lot of child molesters who are running the world. But then they got into like JFK Jr. never died, and he was going to come back and become the president. You're like, okay, I mean, guys, do you see how it's kind of spiraling out of control here?
It gets super goofy, but the stuff that is legit, it seems like it's coming to fruition now, which is like, but it's just going to embolden these people. So we're going to get a lot of truth.
Oh, it's going to be insufferable.
Exactly.
And I want the Epstein list to come out, but you're right. It's going to be nonstop. I told you so's, and it's even worse than that. It's going to go, oh, fuck.
Because then you're going to say, I'm going to say shit like, listen, you were right. Like, these guys are pedophiles at the highest levels. And they're going to go, they're keeping JFK on a med bed. His head is splattered, but it's getting put together through like, Tesla waves and shit. And I'm like,
damn it.
Yeah. So
but now
it's
we have
coming
to listen
back
to you because you were right about something. Fuck.
Now
That's
you've
how
taken
it's
some
going.
victory laps, Carl.
I sure have. This is fun. He learned something new during this episode.
My black old lady is a crazy cat lady. That's cool. Okay, cool. So maybe black people do like cats.
Yeah. Black people maybe do like cats. Now we know.
Yeah, this is another thing about David that you need to know. He suffers from chronic toxoplasmosis. He's got 2 cats, and he's like just unhealthily obsessed with them.
Yeah.
So I think this could contribute to why he's the way he is. Like Macaulay Culkin has it, and it apparently it makes you more entrepreneurial, more willing to take risks, more willing to do a meaningless show like this or 2 hours at a clip.
But less
almost
likely to
every day.
leave the house.
Less likely to leave your cats.
Right. This is something I haven't seen in the podcast we reviewed in quite some time, although I have seen this before.
Maybe we will put a song on so I can go evacuate my butt. All right, let's see real quick. We'll think about it. What do I have? Actually, I know Z-Man sent a bunch of songs way back in the day, but they're probably a fine length for making shits. Where is Z-Man? I just gotta find him. Oh my God. I'm squeezing everything. I'm squeezing dong to cut off the flow. I'm clenching cheeks to keep it away from the door. I'm a fucking disaster right now. Where the fuck is Z-Man? Bake ZD, Falcor, the Wise, Pouncer, Z-Man. There he is. Okay, let's see what he's got on this one. Oh man, things are not going well. And I gotta go very soon.
Have you ever had to shit in the middle of your solo show before, TopLobsta?
This is not my solo show, but this happened to us actually last week with the guest. It was an older dude, and he had to piss or shit or something, and he was like really like, he's like, I gotta go, and he made it almost clear that he had to shit. So we were like, well, what do we do? Like we vamped for a little bit, and then we said, you know what? We're gonna take a quick, like we've never done it before, but apparently listen, if it works for regular TV, people don't give a fuck. So we said we're gonna take a quick break. And we put on Better Off Dead and just put that on the screen. And all of us like just went out for a little bit and came back like 5 minutes later. It was actually, you'd be surprised. It was fine.
Yeah. Maybe we should build some shitting cigarette breaks into this show. Now that I think about it.
You try it.
Idiots sitting here for 2.5 hours straight. This is when he comes back, though. I was pretty offended by this. Oh, that's the other thing too. His whatever song list, it just started playing music in Spanish and shit. He had no control over because he was gone for quite some time. It was like 8 minutes. Or maybe it's Japanese.
It's Japanese.
What the fuck is that? Why does it play anime when it's done? What is that? Hey guys, I'm back. Nope, not washing my hands. I'm not going anywhere. If I was going somewhere, if I was out, maybe I'd wash my hands, but it's my butthole. And also, I don't know about you guys, but I fucking make a big, like a wide spread of my entire hand is basically encapsulated. I go whoop, whoop, whoop around my hand, and that's how I wipe my butt.
Exhausting. This
Okay.
person, he's just slept. This week he was at my house and he slept over with his family. He's just like this.
Did he shit in your house and not wash his hands?
Probably.
That's
I don't
offensive.
know.
That's offensive.
But just the energy he brings constantly, and he's also very loud. Like I said, the opposite of me. I'm like low key. I'll talk shit, but like we'll keep it at a certain. He's just like a fucking air horn, and he's just very like in your face. He's like this all the time.
You know what, producer Chris?
What?
TopLobsta wasn't offended by the same thing I was offended by. I think this guy doesn't wash his hands either.
I wash my hands.
Okay,
sometimes.
yeah. I mean, you're like, yeah, the guy doesn't wash his hands, but he also is loud. I'm like, I can deal with some noise. I just don't want this guy shitting up all my
Carl,
stuff.
Do you get shit on your fingers when you wipe your ass?
I don't. I don't
this
try
is something.
to.
Let's
I don't
talk about
actively
this.
do it.
Producer Chris, when you wipe your, because this is actually a good question. There is a barrier between, right? So do we need to introduce soap to this every time?
Just to be sure.
Yeah, it's a thin enough material.
close enough.
It's a thin enough material that we should get some soap involved afterwards.
I'm not a big fan of pink eye.
Good points.
That is true. That is true. Fine. I'm going to back away from that point. I don't know what I was trying to make there. Forget I said that.
I'm still hung up on that he slept
you
over with his entire family.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. His wife, because his wife is friends with my wife, and we run a business together, basically. So he has a kid around
And
my
this
kid's
all
age.
is because he submitted his dick to your show.
100%. That's
That's
the
how
only reason
all of
why.
this started.
You guys want to see it?
Nah.
Okay.
We're on YouTube. And also no. Can you describe it, though? Can you paint it with your tongue?
Well, it's an award-winning dick, apparently.
Yeah, definitely.
It
You
is
sent me over some links, TopLobsta. Is there anything that we should be checking out here?
Yeah, let's this is actually a fun one. So David explains end loops, and I don't know if your crowd knows what end loops are, but
Is it when you can't stop saying the N-word over and over again? I've seen Anthony
Sort of.
Cumia go through this.
it's sort of this, but sort of not. So
Okay.
David will explain it. He explains it better. He actually coined the term, I think.
Let's go, guys. We have what appears to be a certified.
Told you not safe for work.
What's a loop, Kazarian? I'm actually tickled that you asked, Kazarian. So what a loop is when black people get into a fight. They go on a sort of autopilot. All of their resources go towards physical violence and chaos causing. But there is a small percentage, 13% roughly, of mental faculty that is then dedicated to what we have identified as the loop. And that is where you get sort of a, what's up, bitch? What's up, bitch? What's up, bitch?
See, now he's speaking from a place of authority. Now I'm listening. I'm going, okay, this guy's done his research.
Yes, these are things he actually knows
Right,
about
yeah,
black people and fighting.
Yeah,
What's
okay.
up, bitch? That is a loop. So it's they pick a word or they pick a phrase and they just repeat it ad nauseum while they commit acts of violence. It's actually wonderful. Once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. And so I'm very excited here. Let's see if we can get all 4 stars. Guys, just to remind everybody, there is a lot of new ones in here. There's a lot of new folks. We're looking for wigs coming off. We're looking for titties coming out. We're looking for shower caps, and we're looking for loops. Okay, maybe one day we'll identify a 5th category, but for now, that's what we have.
Okay. I have definitely witnessed what he's talking about here. I don't think it's just one race of people who do this, but I've certainly seen what he's talking about.
But it's almost like, I mean, man, from what I've seen, it's like, man, 80% of the fights with black people, like they get caught in the loop. And he's the first person. He's the first person to show it to me, and it's like one of those things. Like once you've seen it, once you've seen the Matrix, you're like, oh shit! Now everything I can't unsee this. Everything I see is the same thing. It's incredible.
All right, so he brought up one good point. What else you got out here?
Let's see. His racist rules. Perhaps that would be a good one to check out. All this stuff is very racist, and I'm sorry that I had to bring this to your audience, but this is the kind of show that he's running here.
Well, we met you on Tower Gang, so I guess I'm not that surprised that your friends talk about race a lot.
This show makes Tower Gang look sane.
That's true. I agree with you on that.
This guy being in pajama pants and Crocs, I don't think is good. I don't think it's good. Q says, I'll beat your ass in pajama pants when my shirt comes off immediately. Clint, Q, what's your name? Don't go outside in pajama pants. Please, can we fucking do that as just like a community of dangerous retards? Can we not go outside in pajama pants? That is fucking for black people only. That is for black people only. We can't do that. And I'm not saying, like, maybe you didn't know that before, but I'm here to say that I think in my heart, pajama pants outside is for black people only. And it's also, I also find it despicable. I find it despicable because how fucking dare you? Because there's a whole world going on outside.
Do you see the title here? Master makes his first rule. You see that?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, I bring this up because forget about the racism, whatever aside, he is just making rules for these people, and then they're calling him master. And it's like the relationship is just bizarre. But
he titled this himself, didn't he?
No, this is not even him tweeting.
This is somebody else.
Tweet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see, Master David Corbo makes his first rule, and then this is like 173, episode 173. I don't even know, but these people follow him. It's very cult-like. I don't know if he's trying to build a cult, but he has built a cult.
Well, he shouldn't have gotten married then, because the whole point of running a cult, you get to have sex with all the women.
Nothing he does really makes sense.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
You have no fucking self-respect at all. You have to put on pants. You got to put fucking denim on. You got to put denim on. So can we do, I would just like that. That would be nice.
So,
and this guy
can I understand the rule now? So the rule is like producer Chris and myself have to put on pants, but if we had a black friend, we don't. But if we did, that person could wear pajama pants and that'd be okay? Or is he saying no pajama pants for anyone?
I'm pretty sure he's telling the people that follow him here that these are the rules, and I'm not sure if he's allowing black people to follow him. I'm very confused. I don't watch the show that often, but when I do, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I pop my head in every time, and I'm like, I wonder what my fans are doing over here. And I'm like, this is horrible. And I close it and I do something else.
Yeah, the people who follow this should be probably looked into. And I'm not a big fan of the FBI or anything like that, but if you got all these people employed, they should be doing something, right?
Yeah, probably lynched and cornered. Just one more clip here. The classic TLC content, and this will go back to like what he's been doing this entire time.
Okay.
Yeah, and how he's built his own following, because it's difficult to build a following. Like you can be on a show with somebody.
But you can steal someone else's following. Apparently, that's easier to do.
It's hard to do. Look at Robbie the Fire Bernstein. He's got 20,000 followers on Twitter. These are just Twitter metrics, and Dave Smith has over 800,000.
Yeah.
But he's on a show with them 3 times a week, so it doesn't follow.
That's
but
true.
He has sapped quite a bit of my audience into his, so he's doing something right.
Yeah, that's true. Why is it called Timeline Cleanse?
Because it's the opposite. Like if you watch this is basically MK Ultraing yourself willingly.
I see.
It's the complete opposite of cleansing your timeline from whatever shit you've been seeing on
people
Twitter.
complain that WTP is hard to get into because we've been doing it for so long and there's all these characters that we talk about and stuff like that. This show, who would ever fucking find this and just be like, oh, I get it?
I don't know. It's not for everybody, but people
Right.
people love it. It's a weird thing. They'll ask him like, when are you going to do it? Are you coming back, Master? And it's just like, just very strange. Very strange. I can't explain it. I was hoping maybe you guys could shed some light on this with your podcast expertise because I'm fucking baffled.
Well, I wonder if it's similar to the Tom Myers phenomenon where everyone would call him king and really prop him up. So like Tom Myers would put out some stupid tweet and all their comments would be like, yeah, king, you got him. Let's go, Tommy. I wonder if it's that kind of thing where they're actually clowning him, but he likes it. So it works for everyone.
Do they give Tom Myers money?
Oh God, I don't think so. No,
It doesn't look that
I don't think anyone gives him money. Not an employer, not a fan, not a comedy club.
Because this guy's been able to, from this, like, no joke, from that show and the show that we do, but like, he makes pretty good revenue off of this. Like, he was able to leave his job. He's a welder.
Okay.
Now he just does this full time. So I'm trying to figure out. I'm like, do these people, are they like fucking with him? But they're also paying him well. I don't get it. I don't know.
Well, I do have another clip on here that I was going to play for you. And this is him where the donations, it's very similar again to Steel Toe, Aaron Imholt, where it just kind of seems like the people who donate the money just take over the show.
Thank you guys for the total of $4 donations. And I have to check my ass app because Eamon Rat wanted me to see that before just to deceive me. Let's see what we got.
Oh yeah, listen, I do this all the time to him. Like,
And checking PP, un momento. Wait a second.
all the time, not all the time, but whenever if I see that he's live, I'll log on to the Rumble or wherever he's on, and I'll just start talking to him and telling him shit like, check your DMs, check them right now, all caps. And then I wait, and then he does it, and I just to disrupt the show, and then I log off. So if you do want to like screw with him, you could totally do that.
It's very easy to do that. Yes. Okay.
Don't even need money.
It looks like something did unfold. Oh, cool. How did that get here? Oh, it's pending. Okay. Thank you, Eamon Rat, for the $10 donation. Eamon Rat is a... he says... if you do it right, let it go all night. Shadows on you break out into the light. What the fuck are they singing? I don't know. If you do it right, let it go all night. Shadows on you break out into the light. Yeah, I don't know what they're saying.
Okay, but I'm glad it took up a whole minute of the show, though. That worked out well for everyone. Anything else you want to play from the clips that you put together for us?
No, honestly, fuck this guy. It's been torture. Saturday's my day off. Like I don't do a show Saturday. I don't have to talk to him Saturday. He called me today. I hung up. So this
Did he know you were doing this show?
I told him. I said. I asked the fans, his fans. I said, give me some clips of things that you like that he does, and this is the shit that they ended up giving me.
Okay.
So this is basically a favor to him. I wanted to introduce him to a larger audience that will hopefully look at this and say, this is trash. Please stop. And but I had to suffer through hearing David talk for another 43 minutes, which was unfortunate.
Hey, how did it go with Toad after our review of his show? What was the conversation like with him afterwards?
He wouldn't watch your show.
Oh,
and,
no?
No, and the spike in viewership was negligible, I'd say, at best. But Toad is also retarded. Like, do you guys know who Clint Russell is? You know who he is, right?
Clint Russell. Yeah, I think so. Who's Clint Russell?
He's on Tower Gang with us.
Yeah. I know exactly who that is. Yep.
So Clint is actually a very serious political commentator. Here we go. I'll share my screen so you could see who he is, and you'll see his metrics and all that. Yeah, there he is right there. So 230,000 followers on Twitter.
Yeah.
He was on Timcast a bunch. He almost had his own show on Timcast, and he's working out pretty major deals, possibly one with like to be exclusive with Rumble. And in our group chat for Tower Gang, he goes, "Hey Toad, let's go and talk about the Luka Doncic trade or whatever, some shit for basketball." And Toad just responds to him, "I already covered it last night." And I'm like,
to 28 people.
to 28 people. So I'm like, Toad, I'm like, read the room here. Like, this guy with this huge following is volunteering to come on your show and talk about something with you. Take him up on it. And then he goes, oh yeah. Okay, I guess so. I'm like, man, it's just so autistic, can't get out of his own way. There's really no helping the guy, but, you know, is what it is.
It seems like you enjoy surrounding yourself with these work in progress people.
Yeah, man, maybe I'm fucked up.
That's what I'm thinking, yes. You're on these shows, these guys are like, I love these guys, but they're fucking retarded.
I either like being the smartest person in the room or the dumbest person in the room. You know? No in between.
Who are these podcasts?